I have never really thought of myself as a very physically attractive person. And I know that there are some people who know me who are going to probably be upset when they see this video, and they're going to say some things to me about feeling that way. And I totally understand where they're coming from. And I don't say this necessarily to attack myself or to put myself down, but I say this to talk about an awakening that I think sometimes we experience as we get older, when we are told when we're younger, or we feel that when we're younger, that we are more at liberty to judge people based on looks. And when we're kids, we can be very harsh, we can be very mean, and we just don't have the conscience that we maybe develop as we get older about how the things that we say and the things that we do affect other people. Sometimes we may even know that when we're younger, but we just don't really care, because we just say what we want to say, we say what we think, and we don't really consider the repercussions of the things that we say and how they're going to impact other people. And when I was younger, I always had the feeling that I wasn't this physically attractive person, and I felt, well, I'm a good person on the inside, but you are certainly judged from the outside in rather than the inside out, no matter what people will try to make you believe. That's just really the case, and we want to be visually stimulated. We want to be physically stimulated by someone that we're looking at, and I always felt that I wasn't really that person, and because of that, I really suffered as a younger person in my teens, into the 20s, 30s, and now into, my 40s. And I hate seeing other people go through that because I know how difficult it is. But as I've gotten older, I've really cared less and less about what other people think. And maybe that's just a product of age and just life experiences that probably many people go through, because, beauty does fade to some extent. If you start out ugly, you certainly hope that it doesn't fade to the point that you become even uglier. I mean, it's just not really fair. But, well, then again, what is fair? But as you get older, I think you realize what's really important. As you become older, I think you realize more what's really important, and you start to really focus on those things that are really more important to you. And you realize that looks aren't really important. And as you get older and the looks start to fade and they become less important, and being around someone that shares your interests, being around someone who really wants to be around you all the time or most of the time, and not just during times of physical intimacy, become even more important to you. And you start to put things in a better perspective, in a more healthy perspective for you, for your relationships. And so I worry less about that now than I did when I was younger. And the things that people may say about me now don't really bother me the way that they did when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. That's probably true for a lot of you out there who are watching this video or who may not be watching this video. But hopefully you'll find that inner peace that'll allow you to not worry about the way that others perceive you. And you will not judge yourself by the beauty standards that we set as a society. And this is something that probably affects women more than even men, because of the beauty standards that are out there that create sometimes unrealistic expectations for people to live up to. And that can be very difficult, that can be very challenging, that can be very frustrating. It can be downright depressing. We have to learn to really look at people more from the inside out, to judge people in the bigger picture of things, how we're going to fit together, how we're going to complement each other, how we're going to get along in all aspects of life. It doesn't mean everything has to fit perfectly, but you certainly don't want to just react to the physical attractiveness that you may feel for someone. You want to look at the deeper, bigger picture that's going to help you develop a solid relationship that everybody on both sides of the relationship can feel good about.